Hello, Rooted Podcasters. It's me, Pamela Benson Owens, back with another episode of Rooted. And today we are talking about being radical. I use that word a lot, radical. I've embraced it over the last couple of years because when I use it, I am intentional in saying I'm going all in on it. I am going to be radical about certain things. And when I started naming being radical about some things, my life changed. So I want to share some of those things with you today. I want you to come up with your own list of things to be radical about. I understand the negative connotation. This is not for the unhealed, unhealthy, vengeful, and or evil acting people. But for me, the first thing I started doing a couple of years ago, some people would say longer than that, but I mean really where I absolutely did not have any concern at the other side of what I was about to say. I really started practicing radical candor. Now, that is not a license to hurt or harm with your mouth. That is not a license to tell people unsolicited advice. But radical candor is that if I am asked, I am going to give you a radically honest, real answer, not to harm you, not to hurt you, but to create a space of honesty and permission for others to do the same. So my first radical move was radical candor. If you want to know what it really is, what I really think, how I really see it, you will get a heaping dose of radical candor. And you know what? Since that decision, I sleep really well at night. And sometimes I don't do it, and I will call you the next day and circle back around and say, you know what? I wasn't fully open and honest about something. I want to institute a little radical candor. When you asked me this, I said that, but what I really meant was this. And the minute that I get silent and don't answer, I don't care. As long as I'm talking, as long as I'm answering, as long as I'm going in truth and love, I care deeply. So my first step was radical candor. My next step was radical belonging. I don't care how it looks. I don't care if we're sitting at a table and there's old and young, gay and straight, um, uh, lawyers, doctors, artists, creatives. I don't want to hear again about somebody being rejected or left out or not invited. Radical belonging means we all have a place. I don't even like the table reference anymore because there's a underpinning that somebody owns the table. I don't need to own a table. I don't need to be invited to your table. I'm just going to have like an open, gazillion long picnic table for everybody to come and belong. And that doesn't require you to leave yourself in the car in order to do it. So the next thing I started really practicing was radical belonging. And that one gets hard because it's hard to do radical belonging when somebody might get on your nerves or you don't see eye to eye or you think they're this or that. I double dog dare you to do it. It's another permission slip to humanity when you institute radical belonging. The next one is radical compassion. Listen, just because I haven't lived your story doesn't mean your story isn't valuable, powerful, and valid. Radical compassion says, I don't have to understand it or get it to be able to extend compassion and care for you as a human being. And I'll do you one better. When I added its play cousin, self-compassion, where I stopped letting my inner critic come for me. Her name is Paula. And I'd be like, bitch, sit down. And I started just wrapping and saturating myself in self-compassion. The sky became the limit on what I could actually really do. It was stratospheric when I said, I'm going to issue heaping doses of self-compassion. I'm doing the very best that I can. Sure, I missed that event. Oh, I missed the deadline. Oops, I did. Not in a way as a excuse, but just to say I'm not perfect. As a matter of fact, perfection is not the goal. Progress is the goal. Peace is the goal. Learning from my mistakes is the goal. It is not about the destination. For me, it's about the journey. How do I strengthen compassion for others? Extend compassion to myself. And I do so radically.
Wait right there. I hope you're enjoying the episode, but the Rooted podcast is sponsored by For the Culture Coffee. For the Culture Coffee is a Black-owned family business dedicated to sustaining Black culture. They offer K-Cups, coffee beans, and ground coffee in a variety of flavors, and you can sip them at fortheculturecoffee.com.
The next radical move I made was radical kindness. If I had a dime for everybody that I've actually helped who has dogged me out, talked about me, I've literally had people talk about me inside my house, picked up on the Ring camera, played it back. I'm like, they're talking about me in my own house. And guess what I did? Might I get you another cocktail? Would you like some more cheese? How about a cookie? Radical kindness. Why? I never want to resemble the lowly audacity of somebody to talk about the person hosting the event in their home. Who does that? I don't. So I'm going to still issue heaping doses of kindness. I don't want to resemble anything that sounds or feels like evil, disrespect. Don't want it. So radical kindness is the playbook for me. Finally, radical patience. Whew. If I could just get this down. I start well and then I get edgy, but I've really worked to absolutely practice radical patience. What does that look like? It looks like staying in a posture and a stance of responsiveness and not reactiveness. I could pop off every day at something, at someone, about something, about someone. It isn't even good for my central nervous system. And if you do the work on the brain, which I've been doing, your brain suffers when you are constantly in survival mode, when you are constantly in reaction mode. So, radically being able to be patient literally renews your central nervous system. So, I ask you, what is it that you need to be radical about? Is it radical candor? Is it radical belonging? Is it radical compassion or radical self compassion? Is it radical kindness? Is it radical patience? I double dog dare you to explore radical forgiveness, like the kind that doesn't have a back kick that you bring up next year when you really didn't do the work of forgiveness, but you thought you did because it sounded cool, but you didn't really. We got to get radical. The world is a hard place. People are in an extended amount of survival mode, protectionism, and defensiveness. It's going to kill us. I want you to get radical. Radical candor, radical belonging, radical compassion, radical kindness, radical anything that creates more space for us to love ourselves and each other. Rooted podcasters, thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.